When Malcolm X walked out of prison, America wasn't ready for what came next. He returned disciplined, focused, sharp, but more importantly, he returned with language. The streets had taught him survival. Malcolm used prison and taught himself structure. Now he had something else. Purpose. Inside the Nation of Islam, Malcolm rose fast. Not because he shouted louder, but because he understood people. Pain, anger, humiliation. The things most politicians softened, Malcolm said directly. And black audiences listened. Because he spoke with the authority of someone who had lived it, not studied it from a distance. Every speech increased his influence. And every speech increased the fear around him. White media painted him as dangerous, too aggressive, too intelligent, too uncompromising. But Malcolm wasn't interested in comfort. He was interested in truth, and that made him powerful. His words spread fast, far beyond the Nation of Islam, far beyond Harlem. Because Malcolm didn't sound controlled by the system. He sounded free from it. But power creates pressure, and pressure exposes fractures. Behind closed doors, tension inside the Nation of Islam started growing. Questions Malcolm once ignored became impossible to avoid. Loyalty collided with truth, and eventually, he chose truth. That decision isolated him, but it also transformed him again. His journey to Mecca changed the way he saw race, faith, and power itself. For the first time, Malcolm saw people of different races united in ways he had never witnessed before. And when he returned to America, his message evolved, more global, more strategic, more dangerous than ever. Because now Malcolm wasn't speaking from anger alone. He was speaking from understanding. And men who understand systems deeply become difficult to control. By 1965, the tension around him was impossible to ignore. Threats increased. Surveillance increased. Enemies multiplied. Still, he kept speaking. Then came February 21st. The ballroom, the crowd, the interruption, the gunfire. Chaos exploded in seconds. And just like that, one of the most powerful voices in America was gone. But this is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Because Malcolm X is still debated today. Not because he was weak, but because he changed. And people often prefer symbols that never evolve. Even now, decades later, America still argues about which Malcolm was the real Malcolm. Detroit Red, the minister, the revolutionary, or the man who came back from Mecca transformed. Maybe the truth is harder than that. Maybe all of them were real. And that's exactly why Malcolm X still makes people uncomfortable today.